Now we present bouquets to the Chief Guest, to Honorable Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley. To our President, Dr. Raghuram Rajan.
I now declare the convocation open.
Honorable Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley, Dr. Raghuram Rajan, Dr. Maithili, Mr. Pandit, members of the faculty, staff and students, graduating students and their parents, media and their other participants. Let me begin by extending a cordial welcome to our Chief Guest, as well as the Governor and all of you at the convocation of IGADR. Today is another milestone that IGADR as deemed university has achieved. It marks the 12th convocation of the institute. My congratulations to all the students who will be awarded the degrees today. We are fortunate to have with us this afternoon our Chief Guest, Honorable Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley. I am grateful to him for accepting to deliver this year's convocation address in spite of his hectic schedule, including the meetings on the forthcoming budget. This is his second visit to IGADR. The earlier visit was in 2002 during his tenure as Union Minister for Law and Corporate Affairs. He gave a valedictory address to Justice Malimat Committee's deliberations on economic crimes. Now it's my privilege to introduce him. Shri Arun Jaitley graduated in Commerce in the prestigious Sri Ram College of Commerce, and he did his law degree from the University of Delhi. During his career as a student, he was the recipient of several distinctions for his outstanding performances, both in academic and extracurricular activities. He was president of the Students' Union in Delhi University in 1974. He has been practicing law before the Supreme Court of India and several high courts in the country since 1977. In the previous NDA government, during 1999-2004, he was Minister of Law and Justice, Company Affairs, Commerce, Divestment and Shipping. He has been a member of several parliamentary standing committees. His oratory and debating skills in Parliament and outside are well known. He has authored several write-ups on legal and current affairs. Presently, he is the Minister of Finance, Minister of Corporate Affairs, and Minister of Information and Broadcasting. On behalf of the Board of Management and the entire campus community, I extend a warm welcome to Shri Arun Jaitley, to IGADR, and to this graduation function. I also welcome our President, Dr. Raghuram Rajan, whose achievements in the fields of economics, banking and finance are well known. This is his second convocation as chairman of the institute. Turning to IGADR, over the years, the institute has established itself as one of the well-known and high-quality institutes in the country and abroad. In this context, I acknowledge the efforts of the faculty, students and staff, as well as the continuous encouragement of and support of the Reserve Bank of India and its successive governors. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Raghuram Rajan and Board of Governors for their valued support and continuous guidance. Our vision is to continue the excellence in teaching and research and reach greater heights in future. We are aware of the challenges and we have to do much more to compete and collaborate with the institutes in India as well as outside. In fact, in the Silver Jubilee Conference 2 years back, many eminent economists mentioned that IGADR should aspire to become one of the top premier institutes in the world in the next one decade. In the context of revamping of the earlier Planning Commission to Niti Aayog, we should also have quality think tanks outside Niti Aayog to advise on policy. So ICADR can also contribute to this role of policy research and advice. Like earlier years, the progress on publications, research projects, conferences, capacity building programs, this year also it has been quite satisfactory. IGADR faculty has also received recognition on several fronts as reflected in major assignments, members of different government committees, and in receiving awards and fellowships. We also started outreach programs like training for RBI officers, and also we thought we should outreach to the college and university teachers also. We started refresher courses for our university teachers all over India. IGADR has a strong teaching program spanning a diversity of topics in both economic theory and applied economics. Since its recognition as a deemed university in 1995, it has been conducting its own doctoral program, and further it introduced MSc program in economics in 2003. In addition, it is our effort to maintain an overall atmosphere at the institute in which the students hailing from multidisciplinary backgrounds and different sections of the society are made to feel at home. Our teaching program is designed to acquaint the students with the most recent advances in theoretical economics, besides aiming at improving their analytical and computational skills. For example, the master's program attempts to develop a perspective for an intelligent understanding and interpretation of economic problems. It will be useful for students when they go out in involving research and policy making. The students should not limit only to models and formulas when they go out of ICADR, because policies sometimes are formed by your own judgments. ICADR also has law and economics program. The idea here is that the lawyers should know economics and economists should also understand law. One of the important publications of ICADR is India Development Report. These reports provide an independent assessment of the Indian economy, including current problems, issues and policies. The publication of India Development Report has provided an opportunity to bring the research of ICADR scholars to wider audience. Recently, we have prepared India Development Report 2015. Oxford University Press is publishing it, and it will be released in February or March. The report examines performance and policies needed in future to achieve economic, social and environmental goals of India. A whole range of issues facing India's development are covered. It focuses on achieving growth, accelerating growth and inclusive development in short and longer terms. Immediate challenge, of course, is increasing growth from present 5.5% to 6.5% next year and to 7 to 8% in the next few years. The government is taking a number of steps to revive investment climate, both domestic and foreign. Some of the reform measures are already undertaken, like the increase in cap of FDI in insurance, coal auctions, reforms in land acquisition, moving towards GST, etc. Already we find some green shoots of revival in the economy. Output from 6 core infrastructure industries rose about 6.7% in November. It suggests a likely rebound in industrial production. Decline in oil prices and inflation also would be helpful for the country. Of course, one has to be careful with inflation. The vegetable prices are increasing now, this month. It is possible that inflation can revive depending on the global situation and developments in our own economy. Of course, some people like Sujit Ballab say minimum support price is the only factor that determines the trends in inflation. But I feel that this argument is too simplistic because there are many other factors. Even minimum support price is determined by the market and global prices. Apart from discussing about policies and macro issues, the report also has chapters on different sectors, including agriculture, changes in rural India, healthcare, corporate debt market, corporate social responsibility, urban issues, climate change, etc. And lastly, India Development Report suggests focusing on five areas. The first one is infrastructure development. Although there is a lot of progress, several indicators score poorly if one looks at India's infrastructure, particularly compared to economies in East Asia. For example, power shortage is perennial in parts of the country. This is one of the single biggest constraints for our growth. Meeting the energy requirements for growth of this magnitude in a sustainable manner presents a major challenge. The PPP model earlier has not worked, and how to revive PPP model is a challenge. Midterm review also talks about increasing public investment. The second area India Development Report talks about is the manufacturing, labor-intensive manufacturing. The share of manufacturing employment, if you see last 65 years, it has been 11 to 12% in employment. Only recently it increased to 13%. This share is double or triple in many other countries, particularly in East Asia. So the government's focus on Make in India relating to manufacturing is in the right direction. Whether you call it Make in India or Make for India, whether it is exports or for domestic market, focus on labor-intensive manufacturing is needed. The third area is achieving demographic dividend through education and skill development. That is well known to achieve the demographic dividend. And fourth area which is related to is of course the human development, because we are behind, although there are many achievements on health, education and nutrition, we are behind many other countries compared to Asian countries, some other Asian countries. And the last one is the governance aspects, because all the above things depend on how the governance is important. Here the decentralization, institutions, all this come under this. And the government is focusing on this maximum governance. Here, apart from center, state government's efforts are important for good governance. The India Development Report 2015 indicates the need for focus on these 5 areas for achieving growth and inclusive development in the short and longer terms. I am sure with the right policies of the government, present government, and efforts of all stakeholders, progress in these 5 areas can be achieved in the short term and long term. Now, I turn to the degrees awarded. Since its inception in the late 1980s, IGADR has awarded 85 PhDs, 78 MPhils, and 179 MSc degrees. At this convocation, 2 PhD, 3 MPhil, and 24 MSc degrees are to be awarded. I may add that out of 24 MSc students who are getting awards and sitting here, 71% are females. I repeat, 71% are females. So we have high gender imbalance in favor of females at the institute, and we are proud of this imbalance. I am happy to inform you that our students have been remarkably successful in getting placements both from academic institutions in India and abroad, as well as from leading corporates, government organizations, and financial institutions. Our students also in some of the universities abroad, like Columbia and other universities. Dr. Rajan was telling why not in Harvard and MIT. So we should aim for that in future. In spite of global economic uncertainty, India's low growth in the last 2 years, the students were upbeat regarding placements as there was demand for IGADR students in various sectors. There is already a large and vibrant network of IGADR alumni in academic institutions and the corporate sector. In fact, we have a function of Alumni Association tomorrow. Finally, I take this opportunity to extend once again my heartiest congratulations to the scholars who will be awarded the degrees at this convocation, and I wish all of them success in all their future activities. Thank you very much.